All right, boom. Welcome back to another episode of Just Juice Podcast. We are back here again. The episodes are flying out to you lot. I've been recording like mad recently. I've been here about 4 or 5 times this week trying to record so many podcasts before I fly out. You guys know who I am already. I'm KaranDJ. To my right, I've got my co-host.
Welcome, guys. You know who it is. It's Kim.
It's Kim. She's back. And opposite me, actually, I'm going to introduce you to someone. He's an upcoming artist. Yeah, I'm going to introduce him right now. His name's Ep010. Ep010, say what, go on.
Yo, what on, people? What's going on?
Now listen, I've seen a lot of your stuff on Instagram, man. Obviously, like you guys got in contact, and I've done my research and whatnot, and I like what you're doing, man, because you're doing something different.
Yeah,
that's what I like. I like it when people do things differently.
No, thank you.
It comes out, like, man. People see that, man.
Yeah, I saw your things as well. Like, I saw your because I was going through what podcast should I go, and I wanted something that very suited my brand, like you know what I was gonna talk about, like my music, everything. And you know, I want something real. And when I was looking through you guys' thing, I was like, whoa, like you guys are real. Like you guys
talk about some real shit.
Yeah, literally, man.
Shit, you know what I mean? And I like that. So yeah, here I am.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
Nice
for that,
to
man.
have you here in our little home.
And you know what? You're the first artist that we've had on here as well.
Oh yeah,
You're literally the first one.
Alright,
Man.
so man broke it off. Yeah, cool. Now I can say if any other artist jumps on here, you know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
You started it off.
But listen, man, like we're here to tell everyone about you. Like, tell me about yourself, bro. Where you from? What got you into music? Like, this is the first day I'm meeting you, bro. So you're basically telling us like who you are, bro.
Cool. Where I'm from? Man's from like north east. It's a weird area, fam. It's between like North London, East London. We're talking Hackney, Islington, innit? So
Yeah.
So Dawson area type shit. I'm from there. And country-wise, man's Nigerian as well. Yeah. So how I got into music? I'll be real. Music's something I've always kind of like done. Like in my family, like my mom's got pictures of me of like being 4 years old, 3 years old with a microphone, playing about. I've always kind of been on like some public speaking thing as well, being that young as well. But the person who really cemented it for me as a like, yo, this is something that is a reality. It's not just like no disrespect to my mom, innit? But like, you know, my mom's a single parent, and when I was first growing up with her, it was just me and her. And I don't know what it is about the human psychology, but when it's just you and one person, especially like in an intimate gathering where it's just you and your mom, she's kind of like helping fan the flames of like your talent. Because it's so intimate, it's just you and her, a part of you almost believes like you don't want to believe in it. You know what I mean? It doesn't really feel like, it feels like, oh, it's just me and something my mom does, or something my mom takes very seriously for me. But my uncle, yeah, he's a Nigerian legend, Fuji legend. He
So
was
you got music in your blood.
Yeah. His name's Ayuba. Like bare Nigerians who know him from like. It's crazy even till now. Like he's got a track that's trending on TikTok. And he's been doing it for like 30 years plus or something, you know what I mean? And he's one of the pioneers. And what cemented it for me was when I was in the yard, I woke up one time in the yard, like, because I used to live with him when I was younger. And like, when I remember coming out of the house, he has a very big house, like, I just saw like 30 cars.
You're like, I want one.
I saw 30 cars parked around. I'm like, wait. What does he do again? Yeah, he's an artist. He's a musician. He's a pioneer. It's like, whoa. And this is like 6, 7 years old. Like, I'm seeing this, like, the reality of, like, building on yourself. He had his own street. The street was named after him.
What?
Yeah, literally.
Is this in London or is it in
Nigeria?
Yeah.
Nigeria.
That's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, like,
that's so sad. Wow.
Yeah, literally.
And you're asking questions like, what's going on with these with these cars? And he's like, well, you know, I had to get it shipped from America, all these other countries. I had to put them all together so I know what I'm doing with the car. And I was like, what? You know what I mean? Being like, yo, just being blown away. Like, all right, cool.
Man, just making a collection.
Yeah, literally. After that, I was like, cool, say nothing. That's when it was like never dropping it. No one could tell me nothing about music. You're like, yeah, it's for me.
Yeah. What's your favorite genre?
Uh,
I know that's a really hard question. If anyone asks me, I'm like, my genre goes from like here to all the way over there. Like there's such a variety in between. So I know it's a very hard question.
There's a lot. But I'll say I grew up with hip hop.
Yeah.
Like with the rawest form of hip hop.
Yeah.
And I think I also grew up with like UK grime, road rap. But when in its like rawest form, when brothers were doing it, but they wanted to still make it big, like proper huge and like in an impactful like way. Like I grew up in that wave where it was like, all right, cool, you say you're an artist, but are you though? Like niggas are testing you. Like, sorry if I can't say it.
You can. Run it.
Cool. So it's like they're testing you like, yo, you say you rap. Cool.
Yeah, they really want to find out.
Yeah, they really want to find out type shit. Yeah. I grew up in, I wanted to, funny enough, when I was younger, I liked Eminem.
You know what?
Yeah.
You cannot discredit his flow.
Yeah.
You can't discredit his lyricism.
Yeah.
His syncopation is crazy.
Now, do you know what it is? He's different.
Yeah, of course.
He's completely different. At the time when he was there, when he was about, no one was rapping like that.
No.
And no white man was rapping like that. He came on the scene and he did bits.
His shit was different.
Yeah, his shit was different. That's why it caught the eye of people like Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
And now like he's like one of the biggest rappers alive.
And I loved like his marketing in terms of like man just had a grey hoodie.
Yeah.
Like it was all about his ability. There was nothing else, just all about his ability to spit. And I remember when I was younger, I used to get like boys around my ends to like try and rap with me and rap, and I'll be the fast one. Like it was weird how like my other boy at that time, he liked Lil Wayne, so he would rap like Lil Wayne. And like my other boy, I can't remember who he liked, but I like Eminem. So when it came to rapping,
like,
I was trying to spit it fast, like, you know what I mean? Because the energy of everything and how, and I like the feeling of how everyone was just blown away seeing you spit fast. Like, whoa. Yeah, so Eminem was my guy.
And this is all like freestyling? Do you freestyle or you write your raps?
When I was younger, even now, everything I do in the musical level is freestyle. Like everything. So for me, it's just basically, I can be on hiatus for like a month or two, and then I just go rock up to the mic and like, I'll just freestyle.
So you don't write any of your stuff down like before you produce?
Nah, because what I do is, I'll get a beat. I don't even like hearing the beat.
Oh, you just want to go off the dome?
I just want to go off.
Yeah.
Because when I go off the dome, funny enough, like, it's cool. So my relationship with freestyle is very, very unique in terms of like, because even when I was in secondary school, I went secondary school in Nigeria. So when I was like there, I used to do freestyles and like on the like doing events, whatever. They had me rapping type shit. So
you the man.
They had me doing this shit. So it was a thing where like when I was doing it, I would literally make a song before the event, quick, like either just, and when I say song, I'm just talking it was a beat. Either it was like
just a simple beat.
Just a simple beat. And like I'll have like one of my boys who's drumming, do that, and then I'll say, all right, cool, let's say we have like a little chorus, maybe. That time, you know, it's Nigeria and everyone's so big on Christ and everything. So one of my tunes was "Give Your Life to Christ." Boom, boom, boom.
When in doubt, bring in religion in it.
You know what I mean? Like, so, and this was like during like Christmas, like the end of the year, like
that must have popped off,
Yeah,
man. It must have been like, Jesus.
The way it popped off, I'm talking like my mates are talking about. I was in the car doing the beat, I was rapping the shit. I was like, oh, okay, so this is what's going on, and I'll just freestyle for them. I could really like freestyle back then in terms of like putting the words concisely together. But as I started to like grow as a person, it was like my vocabulary had expanded.
Yeah.
And I kind of lost a bit of passion for music because in Nigeria, my first secondary school was about 50 people. I was the best rapper there in terms of like girls. Yeah. Girls loved me. Man, them liked me, but they liked me for entertainment.
Yeah.
There was a guy who could rap better than me. He was older than me, and his rap was more in the lyrical sense.
Yeah.
But the thing with him was, he was a bit like, people got bored. You know what I mean? Like, people got bored.
Is that like the same flow? Like, he uses the same flow every single time?
Nah, it was just like...
Was it too clean?
Nah, it's just like, all right, cool. Imagine the most lyrical rapper you know starts spitting to you. The first 2 minutes, you're deep in the bars. You're there. You're like, yo. And then it gets to a point where it just keeps going and keeps going.
It's too much.
And it's just too much. And it didn't have like a...
There's no relief to it.
No relief to it. It didn't have a flow. It didn't feel like, oh, let's get boogie with it. Nothing. But when it came to me, I would make songs where like people were like on things. Like I'm talking like... I remember I had a track called Boom Shaka. Yeah. I'll be like, Boom Shaka. And like, everyone was like, yeah. And they'll spit the same like first lines to me. They're like, Boom Shaka, like a pistol, crystal. Like they'll rap it to me. And I'm like, yeah. Like I had the vibe. The girls loved it. Yeah. The man them liked it for entertainment. But if they was going to say on script who was a better rapper, it was him.
Right.
So, all right, cool. That was that. Then my second school had like over 300 people. So
that must have been a big culture shock going from such a small
to big school. Yeah. This one was like, because I remember people used to say to me like, yo, you know you're only the best rapper because you was in like
big fish in a small pond.
Yeah. So I had like passion then. I was like, what are you at, man? I went so hard. Like, I remember the first day I went there, I think I battled with like the person who's considered the best. And we was on a battle rap thing and I must have roasted him. Niggas were fucking with me from then on. So it wasn't even long for me to get to the top. It was like an overnight kind of thing being there. But then what had happened was, because I was on the top for so long, there was no competition. And at the same time, I found the love for it through like teaching other people how to make music. So like my friends, I would like get them to make music with me. Anyone who had like a little passion for it, could do a little rhythm or whatever, I'd be like, all right, cool, let's do something. This is how I make songs. Like kind of like follow the format, but not follow my format like 1, 2, 3, but like just see how it goes down and maybe take something from it to do
make
your
it.
own thing.
They can make it their own, basically.
Make it their own.
You basically show them what to do.
It's like a blueprint.
Yeah, exactly. Because I feel like if you're like on top of the whatever game you're in, your influence is based off of how you can teach people. Bro. Yeah, that's what it really is. It's like,
yo, that's some balls.
Yeah.
Freestyle that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess obviously the success of whatever you do is based on how many people can like be inspired or influenced or gain some sort of momentum behind you. So,
exactly. Like, and you gotta be open to it. You gotta be like, it don't matter who it is, what it like. You can't let with music. I believe there's ego in music, but there isn't ego in music to subjugate others. Not all. It's just like I want everyone to do extremely well, and if you're not doing extremely well, I am pissed that you're not doing extremely well. Yeah, because I can see that in you there's like a beautiful person that could just take this shit. Even made me. I like it when someone I've taught is making me feel
like making you sweat a little bit.
Yeah, because it's like
it's good
cool.
though.
Yeah,
it makes you work hard.
It keeps you sharp though as well. It keeps you really sharp.
Sharp, exactly. So, but when I was in school, I got tired of being the best. Nothing was really... And then it started to happen where people didn't like seeing me being the best as well.
Right. Is it like... So I just want to get this straight because obviously I know nothing about living in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But is it where the school where everyone was mostly talented and they all come with something? Or is it just you just so happen to go to a school where there were loads of talented people?
Yeah. You know what? Flipping shout out Honeyland. Because that's the name of the school. Shout out Honeyland. Shout out the head teacher I had at that time, Mr. Shit, I can't remember his name. Ade something. I forgot his name. But shout out everyone in there, really, because you see Nigeria, it's so different to here, man.
Yeah, one of my girls, she's from Nigeria, and she'll always like send me when she's there in the summer, she'll just send me loads of videos and Snapchats, and I'm like, I want to liken it to like India, but I feel like everyone has their own little spice
it's
and
different.
thing.
It's that like brothers don't play, bro. People could play the drums. I'm talking not just play the drums.
Yeah.
Those brothers doing saxophones, playing on trumpets. That's the biggest school I was in. Like they was doing like the musical side of it was just crazy. They had like a musical teacher. I can't remember his name. Hey, look. Sorry, I'm forgetting everybody's name.
It's calm. I don't remember any of my teachers' names either.
Do you know what I mean? It's such a long. We're talking 10 years back. Like, no, we're talking like 15 years back type shit. So it's long.
Long time.
But they had like a musical thing that was just crazy, and also it was also the one place I saw everyone who's in there were all black. So there is no stigma in our head where there's low vibration. Everyone's a boss, everyone's a G. Like you looked up to the brothers that were in year 10, year 11 because these brothers were hard.
Yeah.
And the reason why they were hard was because if you done some dumb shit, they will slap you up. And they'll slap you up and it's their right to slap you up. Teachers won't get involved. They could punish you. You know what I mean? So it was like
It's a very different culture.
Culture. And the environment was very like battle orientated. Like, if you're the best, prove you're the best. Deliver. So anyone who could deliver, who could play the saxophone, delivered on playing the saxophone. There's this guy called Shegu. He's like he was like a fellow Kuti inspirational, like he was inspired off of fellow Kuti. So he could play the saxophone, the trumpet, he could like do bare things.
Yeah.
I just happened to be like the best hip hop guy at that time. And everyone effed with my hip hop like thing. So it was like best artist on a popular scale. But if it came to talent, to people who was really like playing with the instruments and doing things, like those people that was doing their thing. And there was no way for me to compete with them.
Did any of them, so all the people that are playing instrument stuff, have they like become artists now themselves?
Shegun is an artist, I believe. I think he does some performances. I see him on Instagram here or there. Another person, T. Smith, he's become he's an upcoming producer in Nigeria right now, popping. He's working with like a lot of people. You've got, I even had a DJ.
Shout out.
His name was DJ Valentine.
Hey.
Yeah. This brother was hard. Like I can't even he was like the master ceremony of every event that we had going on as well. And like he would like make beats with like the DJ equipment or the keyboard or whatever just for us to rap on while we're doing our events. So now like Nigel was, plus my uncle being who he was, Nigel was a place that cultivated my talent to the highest degree. Yeah. Yeah.
I can imagine obviously you got a lot of big influences there, your school, your uncle, the people around you. When did you get to a point where you had like started to cultivate kind of your sound and your vision?
When I came here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I came here, after like 10 to 15, coming back here when I'm 15, you come back, there's a culture shock, man. Like, music here is different. At the time, drill was on the come up.
Sorry, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
25.
No way.
I don't want to be.
Wait, so when did you come? When did you come in? What, 10 years ago?
I came back 10 years ago, yeah. Yeah, 10 years ago.
2014. Who was popping in 2014? What was popping
I
in
honestly didn't listen
2014?
to a lot of UK music. It's so bad. Anytime I say I didn't listen to any grime, they're like, what is wrong with you? I listen to it now. Just not when I was younger.
Just not then, yeah.
Nah, what was popping back then, 2014?
410 started to get the rounds. Lowski started to get his rounds. 6-7 started to do their thing proper. When I say 410, I mean the old 410. I'm talking BT Rendo. They was doing their thing then. 2014, 2015.
I don't even remember what was going on.
I think maybe... What's his name? The guy that they keep talking about, he turned into a cat. Sneak Bro.
Oh my God.
From when a jet ski wave. Yo, one of my girls, she lives in Dubai. Like randomly, she just started like putting up stories and shit like that. I'm looking at the guy like, who? It's fucking Sneakbo. Like she's listening, and I remember listening to Sneakbo when I was like, I think I was 14, 15, and me and my girl used to be like, I'm on a jet ski wave. Like, and then I saw her, I was like, yo, this guy was like big in the UK for a while, and he's still out there like living life.
Yeah. So like they was doing their thing when I came back. But being in Nigeria for so long, I kind of like sharpened my sword on a hip hop thing. So when I came here, it was different beats, different thing. And plus, again, because I was the best in my secondary school, I didn't have the competition to sharpen my tools as much. So when I came here, I was even rusty to begin with. And I remember trying to rap with my mates, and it went banging, man. it just went banging. But as I started to kind of like get into the culture, get into like music, I started to like experiment. And then I linked up with my boy, NFN, Rico, Rashawn. We started linking up. And then his stepdad, I don't know if you know him, but he used to like make, like on his own, he's a talented artist. He used to make musics with Roots Maneuver. I don't know if you know him. His name's Shawnee T, the person I'm talking about. But he's more, I think he was popping like early 2000, Roots Maneuver, yeah. Or Roots Maneuver, one of those two. But yeah, so he took us to a studio called the Stadium Stats. That's Cons. Shout out Cons as well.
I love how many people you plug in. It's great.
Shout out Cons. Like, if you're in East and like you're doing music or you're starting out, everyone touch Cons. Everyone touch Cons' booth, man. Like it gets to a point like in his studio, he has like a wall of signatures.
Oh, sick.
Of, like,
that's really cool.
Yeah,
I'm talking, there's thousands of rappers, early signatures, my signature. Even when I like changed up my name as well, I had to add my new like name onto this thing. It was like, yeah, he was, when I started making music with him in terms of like, because the thing with engineers are like your teachers. They're like your teachers. They're like your rabbi. Like you think you're doing something crazy. You go in the booth.
They've seen everything.
They've seen everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they can hear everything.
They
got control of everything.
They got control of exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're in there like rapping and like going like I remember when I first went in there and I was like, I'll rap my songs like top to bottom, and he'll be like, yeah, bro, breath control.
You know, that's the one thing people don't actually think about. I have a singing background. So when it comes to, I never did a lesson before. When I started learning about breath control, I was like I used to strain my neck all the time. You're running out of breath and you're pushing so hard. Your vocal cords get tired. Breath control from your diaphragm up is like learning that technique is the difference between someone who can really keep up with themselves and someone who's kind of falling into like, don't have that technique, that finesse.
Exactly. So breath control was just like, he was like, yeah, breath control. Okay, cool. Like, oh, bro, you didn't say that line like you meant it, bro. Like, you didn't say like you meant it, bro. I'm like, cool, whatever. I'm gonna go back in the booth, like just rerun after rerun, and like seeing how, okay, cool. When I was freestyling, again, all my music background wasn't recorded. It was more like freestyle. If you was there, you was there. If you saw it, you saw it, type shit. But with him, it was recorded. So it's like you're more tuning into like your voice. You're tuning into like your speech patterns and everything. And for me, it was very difficult. Not because I didn't know how to do it. It was because I was, in my music, I came across as two people because I have like two halves of me that makes up me. Like I've got a light side and I've got a dark side. And in my music, when I went on my dark side, it would be like the rap's proper like grimy and gritty. And then when I went on my light side where I'm singing on a track, and I what I done was I always used both of them to make songs.
Yeah.
So like light side would take over a chorus, then I'll just rap. Or what would happen is light side and dark side would take a chorus. Like I would experiment. So being that young as well, like 15, 16, you're seeing all the brothers in the game do their thing, and everyone's kind of like, no disrespect, but disrespect. Everyone's very rudimental. Like, everyone's one way. It's like, if I'm a hard brother, I'm a hard brother. I'm rapping from top to bottom. No lightness,
No
nothing.
variation.
No variation. No, like, where's that soul? Where's that juice? Do you know what I mean?
Do you think people get like trained to be one way, or do you think people just find a niche that they're comfortable with and they just stay there?
I feel like what people do that makes them stay one way is they take their feedback from outside rather than inside. And no disrespect to the audience, but all disrespect. Like, F the audience. Like, when it comes to going in the booth, and music's a statement. You're saying something.
Yeah.
You're saying something from parts of you that haven't been allowed to express themselves on your day-to-day. You know what I mean? Because society is how it fucking is. So it's like, all right, cool. When you get on these tracks, man needs to, like, say my mind, my mental, what I think about this, what I think about that, how I feel about my boys, everything. And at the same time, man needs to express the parts where it's like, I'm sad, I'm lonely, I'm depressed, I'm in love, I'm not in love, I'm on a weird thing, maybe I'm like rebelling on some shit, you know what I mean? Like, that kind of wave as well. So I always had to, like, I was always making both of them naturally. And at the time where we was in the game, everyone was rudimental and everyone wanted rudimentary stuff from artists. They didn't want nothing different. The scene was only on drill or Afro swing, and there was no lane where you could create something different because there were these channels, GRM. I like Mixtape Madness, but GRM, fuck them. Link Up TV.
I remember that. Stars TV.
Yeah, Stars TV. And Link Up TV, I like Link Up TV because I think Link Up TV still gave room for creative voices. But GRM, fuck them 1,000%. Like, that's, like, fuck them. And yeah, so you're coming up in the scene and it's a bit rudimentary and you're thinking, cool. But then it got to a point where certain things happened in my life where I had to be completely by myself. And when I was completely by myself, I made the best shit. I confronted a lot of demons, brought a lot of them out, and really sat myself down and said, who are you making music for? Are you making music for the people, or are you making music for yourself?
Yeah.
And it's like, you're making music for yourself. But it's like, at the same time, you want to inspire people. But the only way people are going to get inspired is if you do something completely for yourself.
Yeah, you have to tell your story. You're not here trying... I think that's where a lot of creatives get a bit lost. Like, I think art is obviously derived from the individual, but when you got people, especially with social media culture and people, you've got audiences in front of you more often than you don't, that it's so hard to not let the external actually influence what you want, because sometimes you think that your success is only dependent on if these people like you, but they only started liking you because you were doing you.
Facts.
So you were the only one who was putting out your content. And I think the more people realize that there's only going to be one you, they'll feel more confident in what they do. But then you got like these big industries, these big corporations, they want cookie cutter people who are literally going to be who's going to get us to a number one, who's going to get us this brand endorsement, who's going to get us this deal, who's going to make us look good. That's when you get like these cookie cutter artists or cookie cutter anyone that just, they don't have a voice anymore. They know how to sound good because studios or productions telling you how to do it. But they don't know who they are. You put them on their own and you tell them to go toe to toe with themselves. They don't know how to do that.
They get lost in the industry. I'm not gonna say much about it, but bro, shit's fucked.
Yeah.
Why would you not say much about it?
I want to say much about it. I want to say much.
You want to say much about it?
I want to say much about it.
Do you know what? Fuck it. Like, let me give you an example. Like, look at the shit that's going on with PDD. Perfect example, man. The perfect example, bro. I've been telling people for years, bro, about 4 or 5 years now. I was like, yo, all of these rappers that you're listening to, bro, they've been fucking each other straight up. I've been telling them they've been fucking each other. I was like, all of this shit that they do, it's not normal, bro. It's like, I was like, you lot think that they live this proper like lavish life, like they're like what you're seeing on Instagram. You're only seeing what they want you to see, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
And like everything that happens in the background, and then when I say something like, for example, if I say like, oh, what's your favorite artist, rapper's name, whatever, they'll say the name. I'll be like, yeah, he's done this, he's done that, he's done this. They get mad defensive.
Yeah, and this is the time where a lot of those things that they don't show you is coming to light. And then you're seeing artists that actually have been strong, forward, like solid. You're talking 50 Cent.
I was going to say, shout out 50 Cent.
You know what I mean? You're talking 50 Cent.
He's a real one.
His brand's solid from beginning till now type shit.
Yeah.
Not in no F shit, nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then you got, and like even Tupac till this day, like when you hear people talk about him in interviews and
there's
everything.
such a respect for him.
There's such a respect. Like I know at cool, he was a wild nigga, like 100%. And they'll say
but
that.
who wasn't that?
Who
back
wasn't
then?
exactly?
Like
back
that was
then.
pretty normal.
That was normal, and it's like they'll say that, but nothing like crazy. Nothing like ooh, like he was a slimy two-face. He was doing shit behind in the corners and nobody kind of knew type shit. Like no. He was straight, and I respect those kind of brands, and those were the kind of brands. I'll be honest, like. When I started to like get older, those are the brands I went into. I went into 50 Cent heavy. I went into Tupac heavy. I went into XXXTentacion heavy. XXXTentacion
Hard.
because he was unique and he stood by his uniqueness, not on some dumb shit. Even when he changed towards the end of his life, even when he changed and like went 360, he showed you his change. Like, yeah, I've done this. Like some people might. I think they were all human. Some people might say everyone's path to enlightenment is not the same. Some people do need to shave their head, get a tattoo in their forehead and meditate under some extreme place for like 10 hours straight. Yeah. They need to go to the extreme to kind of like, because you have to understand, a lot of the things that as human beings we grew up with wasn't our choice. From when you're young, you're born into wherever you're born into, your family, your environment, from 1 to like probably 18, a lot of the things that are in your subconscious, where you're seeing like, when you're seeing mad shit like girls getting slapped up, man them getting chefed, your mum getting into trouble, like all these kind of things are in your subconscious. And then you have to kind of get rid of that and become this, especially if you're very talented, become this great person. It takes a lot. You need to literally deprogram. You need to do a lot of things. So, yeah, it might take niggas to get a tattoo on their forehead and turn out to be like some loving human being that wants peace for humanity. So flipping what? You know what I mean? But going back on the industry route, I feel like in the UK, especially with how rudimental we are and we was, it's fucked us over now. It's fucked us over.
What do you mean?
It's fucked us over. Like there's nothing authentic from artists coming out right now. Like GRM, like shout out Hardy Capro, One Asin, shout out Belly Squad.
Belly Squad.
Shout out Belly Squad.
Shout out Belly Squad. These were guys that had the GRM like in their heyday patented.
Yeah.
And for the industry to do them the way they done them, I'm talking like these guys aren't even flipping household names now. From Notes to One Asin to Hardy Cap Pro, Belly Squad, where are they? And these were guys that made our teenage years the most fun.
Yeah.
These were guys that made bangers, bro. And like, they're nowhere to be seen.
It's like that devolution of sound though. Like, there's always one thing I can never get over. You know, The Weeknd, when he came out with Trilogy, you'll never find another album like Trilogy. Facts. You'll never find another artist like who he was at that time. The minute he went corporate, he kind of ruined his own ability to harness his own sound, because he's not that same Weeknd who can bring out a 30-song album where literally 80 to 90% of it, banger, 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 banger. You relate to it. And they're long format as well. They're all like, a couple of them are 6-7 minutes long. You don't find artists that do that anymore. You saw how the industry literally cut him at the root. So you couldn't see the development of that talent. You couldn't see the development of that niche. I feel like that's probably what's happened in the industry as well.
Yeah, that's what's happening in the industry. And at the same time, because of money, because of branding, because of like putting things, numbers and all this bullshit, it's like people, like for instance, JRM has built their sound built their thing as criminalizing black music. Yeah, cool. I have no problem with drill. I've made drill. I like drill rappers. I fuck with them because they're talking about the reality of the world, of what happens. You know what I mean? If you don't like what they're talking about, then everyone should band together and change the reality that they're in. You know what I mean? But JRM made music, especially if you're someone who's from the urban society, black, Asian, whatever, they made it redundant because you jump on JRM, drop a video, get 3 million views, you wake up, you're still in fucking ends. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And back in the day, like hip-hop back then in the 2000s, this was a thing where like if you popped off of one track, niggas would have you doing radio interviews. Niggas would have you turning up in clubs. Like you had to work to spread your awareness. They're not doing nothing with these brothers. And what's going on is you got the system. He's now looking at these videos that they're jumping on and looking at people who are in the videos, especially the rappers, and arresting them off of joint enterprise.
Wait, what?
Yeah. People are getting arrested off of music videos, drill music videos on JRM. And when the feds told JRM to take the music down, like, put the music down, JRM doesn't say nothing. They take the music down. And at the same time, they're making money off of streaming, not paying the artists. People that say that they want to jump on there, I got 450 to spend, boy, they're not giving them their money, the views that they're getting, nothing. They're eating all of that, plus the flipping 400p. I want to drop how much they make monthly, but it's millions. It's more than 5M monthly. Crazy. Off of ripping off artists and basically painting that the only music that black people or urban people can do is just drill. When, hang on, we've got the best R&B artists. I've seen people that have gone to shows, low ground, underground shows. These are R&B artists killing the game. You've got people that are doing hip-hop killing the game. You've got people that are doing like on some weird SoundCloud shit that I don't even understand, but they're still killing the game. Do you know what I mean? But JRM can't foster all of that talent because they want money. And they're not even taking care of the artists that are on there. So for me, it's like, why is JRM still a thing? Why is artists out there still thinking, in order for me to pop, I need to be on JRM? No, you don't need to be on JRM. What everyone needs to do right now, every creative, like what we're doing right now, if you're passionate about your flipping thing, go out there. Go look for underground artists that you fuck with. Go look for, if you like hip-hop, you like drill, and you want to talk to these people, shout out Uncle Raful. Yeah, because back in the day, he used to do that, literally. And it was like, but these were people that, when they was doing their thing, the scene didn't cement them. The scene didn't give them household names. Like, Uncle Raful right now, in my opinion, should be hosting the Rated Awards because he helped build the drill scene. He was the one introducing us to a lot of drill rappers. He was the one interviewing a lot of drill rappers, going to the ends, risking his life he's the one who was interviewing Naira Marley. He's the one who was interviewing the old 410, I think he even interviewed Shoki's people, like Lil Emda. He was in the scene getting the real information and putting it up there. But he gets rewarded for nothing because he doesn't fit the GRM agenda of, we're just going to make this type of sound pop and we're just going to milk it. We're not going to care about the artist. We don't care if they bang 2 million views in our flipping channel. We're not going to put them with anyone who could actually help them. Nothing. And even with the deals, a lot of these artists that popped on those channels, the reason why we don't find them here today is because a lot of their deals, they got effed over. They got fucked over.
Everyone talks about how fucked up the contracts are with every single music company.
Yeah, but you're tying yourself in because then there's certain things that like an artist will have to like if in a contract, an artist will have to do a certain amount of albums or something.
Yeah.
Or a certain amount of songs, and then there's a certain
And
amount
then
of
you can
equity
have
that
like a
takes up.
JoJo situation where she got benched for years. And they didn't release it and let her go for years. Like killed her whole career. Like how are you able to do that? How do you have that much power over someone?
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't know about these deals. They don't know how they work. They think they're gonna make it, but they end up in so much debt to these record companies.
But the thing is, they probably sell them the dream, though, innit?
Exactly.
Well, that's
like
the.
the dream.
Well,
This would be
I
you,
was
this
just
would
gonna
be you.
say. I think the problem that we have is when we've got like these urban communities. The problem that we find is we don't have infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly. Our
There's no
infrastructure is
infrastructure.
shit.
We're literally speaking about
Yeah,
this before.
literally.
Yeah, it's so
Literally.
bad. We go to these mainstream places and we ask them like, hey, we've got this talent. Like, can you help us? And they'll be like, okay, here's some more people to finesse them because they don't know what they're doing.
Exactly. And it's like our scene is so flipping horrendous. I'm talking urban scene that we need to rely on other scenes. We need to rely on Afrobeat scene. We need to rely on the American scene. We can never build our own shit. You see, like, I was saying this to my boy the other day, yeah? Again, Rashawn. I was talking to him. I said, bro, like, like, UK, whatever, we like to down our own artists, whatever bullshit. I don't give a fuck about that. But do you know how many blog pages are in Nigeria reporting about their own local talent? Blog pages, different, like, they're talking about the littlest guy, putting them out there, everything. The reason why they're seeing...
I ended up in a Nigerian newspaper once just because I was standing next to one of my really good friends from uni, one of my best friends. I was standing next to her and we took a picture on our graduation. Her dad is a prime minister there, like he's quite an influential politician. And she was like, oh yeah, by the way, you're in a newspaper in Nigeria. I was like, what? And then Vibes Cartel is saying, oh yeah, I know this girl. I was like, what?
Do you
Really?
know what I mean? Their
It's crazy.
Exactly. And it's because they got their infrastructure patterned. Like what Afrobeats is today wasn't like the P Square had to make songs with Rick Ross. Even before then doing Two Faces time when he was in a group and like the Banj and all these people, they had to ride behind real infrastructure. In our community right now, when it comes to GRM has no infrastructure to offer us that can do anything for just local, average people that have unique sounds. It's not about like niggas get the artist package, the rollie, the car, and the same old bullshit music video. You're using the same stylist, you're using the same whips. Where's the authenticity? Where's you?
There's no story anymore.
There's no story. There's nothing.
But you'd find that quite universally across a lot of music, though, because like
especially with American music.
If we look at like our Asian music, for example, even they've like almost in a way depleted their own uniqueness and their own sound because they're taking all their songs and putting Afro beats on top of it, or they're putting
do you know what I've noticed about a lot of Asian music today, bro? It's all hip hop samples.
Yeah, it's all hip hop samples.
It's all hip hop. You know Drake.
I
You know
don't mind
the song
sample.
Drake, Money in the Grave. There's literally a song. The beat's the exact same, the flow's the exact same, but it's just Drake and Punjabi though.
But they're
It's
also
mad.
doing the same thing with like their music videos. They're doing the same thing with they're using all the same people. They've got the same visions.
Yeah, the whips, the yards.
I don't
girls.
understand like where storytelling went.
You know, like everyone likes to say, "Oh, the '90s was so hard," but people forget what the point of the '90s was. The point of the '90s was to highlight a society that people were trying to hush. Back then, America, when you're talking like, when you see tourism or whatever shit, they weren't showing the hood in America.
Yeah.
They weren't showing America was trying to hide that type of, basically they saw them as trash. And the reason why the 90s blew up like that was because of money. They saw that black people represented 20% of the market share value when it came to like movies, music. So they started pumping money into like black artists, to like directors. You got like who's the guy that made Snowfall? He died. He's a director. I can't remember his name.
Oh, I knew his name
shit, I
literally
forgot
a week ago. No, I don't know.
Is it Spike Lee?
Yes.
No, is it?
Is it? No.
No, it's not Spike
it's
Lee.
it's not.
Spike Lee.
It's but Spike Lee was one of the directors. But I can't remember his name. But he was So they're pumping like money into like those kind of things. And the reason why it was so authentic was because they weren't scared to show their culture, like 100%.
Yeah.
Like brothers dying from...
It's very in your face.
Yeah, very in your face type shit. Do you know what I mean? And you listen to the raps and everything, you're hearing that they came out from the 80 pandemic when there was crack babies in the 80s and everything. And you hear them talk about their reality, the misogyny, the misandry from everyone. It was like, it was raw then because that was the state of things. And they wanted to show it because they was hoping for change. They was hoping that for the future generations, they don't have to relive that. But you know what happened? Labels who also have an investment in prisons over there, saw this and said, let's replicate this 10 times over. So, cool. The drug dealer story that got told in the 90s is still the same drug dealer story that's going to get told today. Why? Because it makes money. And at the same time, only 1% of those people with the drug dealer story is going to make it anyways. The 80% that's chasing it is going to go jail.
It's just rinse and repeat.
It's rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
Rinse and repeat.
It's a money glitch.
It's a money glitch.
Literally.
And it's like 80% of the people that are going to go jail from this, they're making money. The labels are making money because they got investment in the jails. So it's like, you're seeing this whole system get fabricated to lead a lot of people astray. And then we're now in the UK where we're supposed to be better, where I'm gonna be honest, there's bare rappers here that have more wordplay, more lyricism than any other American rapper. We're the best when it comes to wordplay and rap. It's fucking England. Don't play with us.
Nah, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So it's like, why are we now trying to paint ourselves as the same old dumb drug dealers over there? Nah.
I think there's this whole idea, there's like a real confliction between keeping it real and, you know, like this whole idea that like, I think the problem is people are so desperate to quote unquote get out of the hood, get out of ends, that when they do that, for whatever trauma that's associated with being in the ends, once they're out, they don't want to go back.
Exactly.
And but they don't also want to invest in it either. They don't feel comfortable enough to be like, I'm going to come back into my area and I'm going to invest this for like, I don't know, community centers, or I'm going to do this for housing, or I'm going to do this for food or anything like that. Because one, I don't think any of their management would even let them. That's one. And two, you can't really downplay how traumatic half of those experiences are. And when people are removed from it, I'm pretty sure it's very hard to plug yourself back into it.
True, it's very hard to plug yourself back into it. But shout out Stormzy. Stormzy put money back into the hood. Yeah. You know what I mean? He put money, he sponsored a lot of people's education when it came to like getting the education. I think, was it Oxford or Cambridge? So he done a lot of things like that, you know? And you don't have to be in the hood to sponsor back in the hood, to basically put money back into the hood. But you got to understand, it's like, when it comes to as a race, when it comes to brown people, black people, we're looked upon as the majority. Not as, it don't matter how many billionaires, how many one-time stories of billionaires and entrepreneurs that's going to come out from our urban community. It don't matter. We're still going to be looked upon as the majority. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, if you don't invest back into the majority and help, rather than like flipping JRM, helping the feds expand the jail system by allowing them to investigate off of videos, and the feds should do a fucking better job. If you want to put someone in jail, go do a proper job. Why are you looking at videos talking about, my man's in the video, he needs to go prison? You fucking lazy bastard.
Yeah.
For me,
they're doing the same thing with the lyrics as well.
Exactly.
Like wherever they said, like, bro, like, a lot of people in music, bro, they don't what they rap about, but that's not
They
them.
don't exactly. They don't even do that shit. They don't even do that.
Yeah. But that's what they get told. They
think it's an admittance.
Nah, they get told to it. So basically, there's a story to every rapper, right? So the way that the industry works is they'll be like, alright, cool, this story works, so we'll rinse and repeat. The rinse and repeat is, I've come from nothing, I struggled. My mum wasn't there, my dad wasn't there. Oh, I was in the hood, I had a broke down car, now look at me, bro. It's the same story over and over again.
Fam, the hood the hood's not that glamorized. We've all at one point sold drugs. The selling of the drugs was not that glamorized. I'm telling you. Any brother in the hood could ask a brother, bro, let me get half. Yeah, cool, and sell that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that glamorous, bro. Like, pushing back's not that glamorous. Being in a dinger, it's not that glamorous. Being in flipping, what's it called, in the bandos, it's not that glamorous. It's not. When we was younger, when we was 14, 15, it was glamorous because it was like...
That was like the only route that made you money.
Exactly. That was the only route that we can make money.
Yeah.
Outside of that, when you hit your 20s, bro, you're looking at that shit and you're thinking, oh my, like, why the fuck did I even do that? Why did I engage in that? Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. I love the hood. I love the energy we've got. I love how abrasive we are and how, like, we can, like, control the room wherever we are and, like, get people intrigued by us and everything. And a lot of those traumatic experiences did make up for, like, to make that. But at the same time, we don't want to pass this to our children. We don't want to pass this to our grandchildren.
But even like artists, I think, have a problem with getting rid of their like pain, because there's that whole debate that are you even a good artist if you don't have that, if you're still not in touch with that element of pain, because good art comes from pain. So you find people stay stuck in this shit and they stay stuck in like their trauma or their issues or their problems because they can derive good music off of that. Like people who are healed and happy, you don't really see them making a lot of tunes, you know?
People, I agree and I also not agree, because it's like people who are healed and happy can always go back and talk about their trauma, and people who are also healed and happy can talk about being healed and happy. That's very insightful for someone who's been through trauma.
But do you find that in like music that you listen to?
Yeah, 100%.
I find it in some genres for sure. You find it.
I'm trying to look for an artist. X was one. When he healed and when he was going through his, like, he was deep in things.
When he was deep in things, bro.
Yeah.
His music was deep.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So you saw his process of him getting healed. Even 50 Cent, like, how he does his TV shows, and even when he raps, there's things that he raps about. You don't look at 50 Cent and thinking, yeah, I want to be I want to be like 50 Cent, but I still got to be pushing what I'm pushing right now. That's stupid. No, you got, like, if you listen to his story, even before he went into making TV shows, he got a degree for it. Like, he went back to uni and was learning stuff to do that. Do you know what I mean? These are people that, like, if you listen to their daily routine, they're working out 24/7. If they're not working out, they're next making the music. If they're not making music, they're going talking to the producers. Their life is full on. So what in what world do you think still being a drug dealer, still like being the biggest misogynist in the room is gonna get you to 50 Cent's level? Like, nah. The only reason why 50 Cent and anyone could talk about, even Jay-Z, go listen, like, if you listen to a Dame Dash interview, he said Jay-Z was rapping about all the stuff he was doing when he stopped doing that. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you can rap about what you've done, but Jay-Z talks about, in his album, he talks about real estate. He talks about how we move as a people and all these kind of things. And he's healed. He talks about his family. He talks about his daughter. Do you know what I mean? There's still ways that as a healed artist, you can talk about legacy. You can talk, because the one thing about urban communities for us is we haven't had the full advantage of being creative in our authenticity.
Yeah.
We haven't had that in terms of like your household, in terms of like how you spend your money, in terms of like where you raise your children. We haven't had that. So if a brother from who's made it, who's healed, done his thing, starts talking about how he, like Kanye West, when he's talking about how he's raising his daughters, talking about he wants to homeschool them in a monastery and all these things, you're there thinking as a, do you know what I mean? You're there thinking as a black brother, like, wait, hang on.
You can do that? What?
You can do that? Like, do you get what I mean? So,
but that's why I think it is. You see so many of the narratives where it's like, oh, we only know ends and we only know the hood and we only know the grime and we only know the grit, that when you do hear someone like Jay-Z talking about financial literacy, you're like, whoa, we have access to that. We could also do that. You don't really hear a lot of that, like in the lower levels, because no one really knows.
Exactly.
Everyone's coming from almost the
they
same
just don't know
come
how
up.
great their mind is, man.
Yeah,
Exactly. They don't know.
The human brain is amazing.
It's
Once
amazing.
you know what it does and how to train it in a way, bro, you can do a lot of things, man.
Facts.
Manifestation comes through. Like, even remember we spoke about, I said to these, we sat down with Dipesh, yeah, bro. We learned so much from this guy, bro.
So many golden nuggets. of
I
goodness.
walked out a different man. Like, he taught me like what manifestation is. Like, he said to me, like, say for example, you walk outside your yard and you step on shit, you're gonna be pissed, right?
Yeah.
Fuck sick. But are you gonna let it ruin the rest of your day?
No, fuck no.
Exactly,
But
because
even-
then you're manifesting your own downfall of the rest of your day,
Yeah.
because you've done that, and now you've changed your whole energy. your frequency's gone from there down there.
Down there, yeah.
And it's gonna
facts.
be like that.
Facts.
It's mad though what you taught us.
But even that though, like that person, Dipesh Verji, shout out Dipesh.
Shout out Dipesh.
He is an example of a brown man in our community who didn't go down the drug route, didn't go down the music route, didn't go down the exploitation route. He went down the how can I influence my community route. And he's connecting all of these really cool people within our community that we don't actually have access to because they're not glamorized either because they're very niche or they're specific in their profession. He's bringing them all together to be like, look, here are more examples of people who were successful and this is how they did it. Like they didn't do it because everything's done from nepotism and they didn't do it because, you know, they had to hustle and fraud and this, that, and the other here. It's like, no, these are genuine people who have genuine interests and you can make any sort of living you want from your genuine interests. And it's something that I found very refreshing because I'm like, you don't find a lot of people within our community who will openly talk about their story or let alone get other people to talk about their story. And here he is, brown man.
I feel like people in our community got too much pride and too much ego. They don't like.
But there's a scarcity mindset in our community as well.
they don't like. They care too much about what other people think, man.
Yeah, but that's all minorities.
Yeah,
that's all minorities, especially when you have to understand, like, 20, 30 years ago, a lot of our parents are either immigrants or their parents were immigrants. So, like, when it came to, like, go to school, like, dress their kid properly. They're dressing their kid properly because they're hoping they don't get bullied. They are going to get bullied because you're brown anyways, you're black anyways, but hoping they don't get bullied. And then for you to then get bullied, and then when you're getting older and you're trying to join certain workforces and you're seeing like where the real money's being made, this is in situations where you kind of have to like know how to like tuck your blackness in a way that is presentable.
Be palatable.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, when that is there, you're also then thinking about when you go back home and let's say you see your mate, because you have to understand, our parents were people too, meaning they was also insecure in their lives as well. So when they go out to certain places and they see one of their friends or their friends' friends or their friends' like boyfriend, whatever, be in the same situation, but he finessed it just by being an Oreo, yeah. They see that, be like, I gotta train my kids to be an Oreo too. So they come home, it's like, you gotta be in university and go the straight educational route, and you gotta make sure you wear the suits, and you gotta make sure you talk proper.
Yeah, because they all want to be taken seriously.
They all
Because
wanna be
all of these
taken
people
seriously.
came around with qualifications, and they're working these factory jobs or these really low rate jobs. But I think also, if I think about that generation, how they were raised, when they were home, they were raised within their culture. It was almost like they were back home, like they're within their four walls, their space. And when you're going to school, you got all these people who are criticizing you, judging you. In a way, it must have made them really resent themselves and resent where they came from, because you've got such a dichotomy to go from somewhere where like you've only known this culture and your parents don't see it because you guys are kids and you're so influenced. And when you go to school and it's all British Western culture, they're so different. That does a lot to a kid psychologically, thinking about where do I place myself between these two worlds because they're so far apart.
Exactly. Yeah. So that is just, when you think about that, it's traumatic for a lot of minorities. It's traumatic because then when they go back, you go back to ends and you see ends and you see a lot of black people, you see a lot of brown people, and they're in their element, they're enjoying themselves. And you, again, who's a third generation, second generation, you're growing up, as you get older, let's be real, there's a part of you that starts to see that starts to have a disdain for that. So that starts to look at it like it's almost dirty, like, are people just being themselves? Do you know what I mean? You start to look at it like it's low level. And you don't understand that it's psychological warfare, because you don't understand where they had to come up from and what places them in the class system. And that's another thing about class, especially in the UK. A lot of things in the UK is based off of class. Because someone told me, you talk about the 90s a bunch and you talk about how music was and everything, but again, like you just said, black people made 20% of the market. We're a small country. Boom, boom, boom. Fuck off. When JRM was popping, when grime was popping, when old hip-hop was popping, it was everybody within that class system. You saw white boy Jamie doing a grime flow. What are you talking about, bro? Like, it was like, we was brothers. We never saw race like, oh, Jamie, because he's from a white family, like, fuck him, like, you know, da-da-da. Nah, it was like, that's my brother, bro. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, I think our market value is as big as it is, especially coming from Africa, especially coming from Asia. It's like, are you dumb? Like, that's combining a whole lot of markets. And there's people that have actually done things like Still Bangles, Mist, that have managed to capitalize off of combining those cultures together and making their bread. So don't tell me, JRM done something good for now because, you know, our market value is what it is. That's a lie. And back to what you were saying about like us, like, just having that disdain for us in our community in terms of like when we see our people being our people, and we're us not understanding that it's a class thing. It's not really about our people. We're just happy to see our people be themselves in this class system because this is what they could fight to. I'm still going to wide out like a nigga in Brixton or Dawson streets if I'm in Dubai, if I'm in flipping Miami, if I'm in Jamaica, if I'm in Paris, anywhere I am. I'm still going to behave like my uncle, talk loud, drink, you know what I mean? Take up space. I'm still going to do all that shit. So that's what needs to be seen more. That needs to be popularized more. So the next generation, they see that and they're like, oh yeah, like that's what I want to be myself in a setting that's worthy of who I am. You know what I mean? Rather than the bullshit we got going on right now.
Yeah, it's carving your own path and staying in your lane. Like knowing it's okay to stay in your own lane. Like I think that's where all the innovation is, to be honest. You keep those blinders on and you focus on what your craft is and your talent specifically. That's when you find all your innovation. There's people who can't compare to that because they're not feeding you shit and you're not feeding them shit. Like it's all you. But I do want to touch on what you brought in for us today.
Oh yeah, so I got this more black bodies, more pounds.
Crazy.
Yeah. More black bodies, more pounds. Basically, this is what the labels have in their boards, innit? When they're trying to like, yo, how we doing our marketing today? How we do it? GRM as well. They'll be like, how many black bodies can we put on camera? How can we talk about them doing drill? Crazy. Dip that. All right, cool. Yeah. And the feds, get him. More black bodies, more pounds. Jail systems making more pounds. The labels are making more pounds. The YouTube channels, you know what I call posted? I call him post-not clarity. That's what I call him. Post-not clarity. Because people ain't going to deep how he's fucked our system till later, innit? So post-not clarity for you brothers out there. But yeah, more black bodies, more pounds. That's what it is right here, man.
Nah, that's a deep meaning, man. That because like what we said earlier about what happens in the industry, bro. Like it's all money operated. Money, bro. Is greediness as well, bro. People get killed over it, man.
Yeah.
When money's involved, people go missing. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna say too much about it, but bro, there's a lot of shit going on.
Exactly.
Like if someone don't like someone doing something, or if someone wants someone to do something, say for example you got an artist there now, he's refusing to do everything you're asking him to do. What are you gonna do? Get rid of him.
Get rid of him.
Literally.
Get rid of him. And
find someone else.
Get rid of him. Find someone else. And if you can't kill him, like these are guys that like they've got like, you see the Diddy shit. Like Diddy shit is so. It's a brother that if you're an artist, it's a good thing that we'll get included up. But if you're just an average artist back then, Diddy.
You probably thought that was it.
Yeah,
like,
do you know what I mean? Biggest producer.
You're like, shit, that's Puff Daddy.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's Biggie. That's Biggie, bro. Come on.
But that's probably how women felt when they went into Harvey Weinstein's office.
And invites you to a party. And man's like, hey, I got some girls for you. And like, bro, what? What do you mean you got girls for me?
And they probably made you feel very special, keen interest, you know, how to trap them.
That's the lube.
Yeah.
And the moment they got you doing what they want you, cool, get that on camera. Now we own you. Yeah, we got to release that album. I like how you done it like that. Oh, I don't want to do it. Isn't this you?
literally.
Isn't this you? Yeah.
I hope. I listen. Have you lot heard like the clip, the little voice note of Meek Mill and him?
I hope that's not true.
What? No.
I hope. Like, you
Wait,
know what?
what is it? What is it?
I'm
I
not
seen
gonna
the one
play it.
that
I'm not
Meek
gonna
Mill
play it.
jumping like a bunny for that billionaire.
Yeah, that
I've
was
seen
different.
that.
Like I've seen so.
In a
much
rough,
shit.
what did he say?
He wasn't saying much. He was.
It all sounds.
He was taking something.
Oh.
Like he was taking. Like it was on beat as well. You can make a beat out of it.
Imagine.
You can literally make a beat out of it. It was mad.
yeah,
And
if
there's
I was-
another video. There's another video. They're on a jet. Diddy's bent over on something, but Usher's standing in the way. So imagine you're bent over, but you can only see the top half of Diddy. So, but Usher's blocking the other side. It looks like, bruv, there was something going
Something
on.
booky
There was
going on
something
there.
going on. You can hear someone in the back. They're all like moaning and.
Yeah. Nah.
It's crazy, man. I've been saying since day that this crazy shit's been going on in the industry. Like I say it to my mates. My mates like, nah, you're crazy. You're crazy.
I swear to
Yeah.
God, COVID
You're-
brought in
you're-
2020 vision, man.
Bro.
Yeah, it really
The
did.
amount of videos
it really
of what were
did.
running around in
Yeah.
COVID that
It
really
really
made you
did.
think about life was like, yo, there's so much more fucked up shit happening in the world that we just don't. We're not even made aware of it. Before COVID, I don't think I was aware of half of the shit that happened in the industry. You had an inkling that some shit was fucked.
Do you know what?
maybe
I'm
the
gonna
media
tell you
didn't
something.
care.
During lockdown, yeah, my cousin sent me this video. It was a 6-hour long video, yeah.
I watched it.
The one, did I send it to you?
No, my auntie sent it to me.
Is it a young black guy?
Oh no, this is some
This
woman
guy,
explaining
this
this
guy
whole...
was 16 years old, yeah. His name's Von Two Cut. That was his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
My cousin sent me this video. It's 6 hours long, and it said something Matrix something. Bro, I sat there for 6 hours and I watched the whole thing. And then after that, after it finished, bro, I just sat there in silence. I turned my phone off. I put everything to a side and I sat there in silence because, bro, it opened your eyes to a lot of shit.
A lot of shit.
Yeah.
A lot of shit. Tupac's murder, Nipsey Hussle's murder, Michael Jackson, like shit you would never ever think of, like would ever happen. Like you're like, nah, this can't happen on Earth. This can't happen on Earth.
Oh, but
Bruv,
it can. If you can
it's
think
real.
it can.
This shit's real.
People think Earth is like, you was cavemen and niggas started building buildings with glass. How did we get there? If
Yeah.
you can imagine it, it can happen on Earth. That's
Yeah.
your imagination's your
But
boat.
I find it so funny though, because you see like literal colonizers, governments go into quote unquote third world countries and overtake their so-called dictators and whatever, completely bring in whoever they want, change the regime and start to steal all of their resources and destroy their infrastructure. If they've done that on a worldly countrywide scale, what the fuck do they think is happening? Like
in
media,
your own countries,
in your own
media,
country, in your own
yeah.
like in this infrastructure.
Yeah.
People like that's just human psychology. People have I think people don't like to associate with the idea that they could be capable of some of this stuff, but it's another human doing it to another human. People push to their limits. Like, look, cannibalism happens when you got nothing else to eat. That's when you push to your limits, like have nothing else going on. Like that's what you will do. That's where life takes you. So you don't know where these people are getting inspired by, or like if they want something done, how desperately do they want it done? And if they've got unlimited resources and loads of fucking money, they're gonna find a way. They're gonna do it.
Yeah. Especially when like one person at the top or a select few at the top are being paid to show this, to like subtly feed you these things, and they don't give a fuck because they're getting paid for this. Like it's just like, don't get me wrong, I love women just as much as the next person, and I like money, power just as much as the next person. But I can never really like do that, get that, where it's like I'm selling my soul, where it's like I'm selling my principles. I'm doing something that's like, when I'm gone, my children have to live in this, or my nephews, nieces, or my family might hear, like, nah, like, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah.
But when you're when you're in a field where these guys make you feel invincible and make you feel like the minute things that you do doesn't matter, you start to open yourself up to their ideas. Like, you know, okay, cool, I'll let a little messaging happen in my TV show. I'm not going to risk a 2 million deal because I don't want to put that.
You go against all your morals.
They go against all your morals. And the thing is, it never really switches on from black to white. Like, it starts
Quite
to
indiscriminatory.
grey. Yeah,
It's just,
exactly.
it's anyone who's in that top influential field, they'll get it. They'll be the ones to. But you know, it's so funny though because they think they're untouchable until shit like what's happening with Diddy happens. when they need to usher out all of the old and then run in some new and shit starts getting found out, you're the first people to go because you were easily bought. You could be easily sold.
That's actually a good point.
And they've been sold.
But the bodies that can't be sold get dead though.
Yeah. But then are they not dead inside though?
Yeah.
You sell your soul, guess what? You ain't got soul, you're dead. You're a literal walking NPC. It doesn't matter how successful you are. You ain't got no substance to you.
Yeah, 100%. I'd rather die than do anything out of character for me in terms of like influential base. Like, nah. But at the same time, I'll be real. I'm so passionate about things at a certain point. I do understand that I can be, if someone makes me angry about the right thing and wants to use my anger to direct me into certain places, there are times where I could be blind to that, you know? And I've seen that happen with artists that I do fuck with, like XXXTentacion.
It's because you're fueled by rage.
Because you're fueled by rage, you know what I mean?
It's very powerful.
It's so powerful. So it's like, of course, when a brother wants to test you, you're going to slap him up because it's like, yeah. But then it's like, because you've done it, 100 little niggas behind you think they can do that too now. They think, yeah, that's the proper response to a person that's testing you. And it's like, when we're talking on a day-to-day thing, in reality, that's not the proper response. Let's just be real. But when a nigga got millions in his pocket and a nigga try to disrespect you, and you're thinking, it's difficult. It's difficult, especially it's difficult. And sometimes you do have to do a lot of things that are like seen as extravagant, because the only way you can respond to it and show people that you're still that brand that they know you as is through the extravagancy. If you try to sue somebody, it's going to be on the news, but it's going to be on a small title.
Yeah, at the bottom.
Yeah, at the bottom, he's suing that person. But when you hear Emperor J slapped him, oh shit, why did he get slapped? This is why he got slapped. Oh, he doesn't agree with those politics. So it's like we're fighting on a different battlefield. What I get to do in that battlefield doesn't make it that everyone else gets to do it, because the type of dangers I'm exposed to being in this battlefield, the dangers of death, the dangers of exposure, like my family being called out and people trying to know who my daughter is if I have one, people trying to know who my brother is, you know what I mean? All these little things, trying to like figure out who I am, that's the kind of things I'm exposed to. So when it's like, when I'm exposed to that, the things I think of how to defend myself against a lot of that bullshit isn't the same thing that the average day-to-day person has to think about. So yes, you can idolize us for our music, you can idolize us for our attitude, but don't think we're energy at the end of the day. That's all it is. So if you need that energy to go into the workplace and tell your boss, fuck off, in a polite way, the way you know how to do it in the corporate world, do that. You know what I mean? The energy is to empower you. The energy is to understand that your identity, how you felt, I will say how you felt, because you can't. I'm on the platform where I can say how you felt. I'm on the platform where I can showcase the parts that have torn you inside and build you back up and say, you know what? Take my energy, go conquer the world with that shit, win whatever field you're in. And I'm saying that to children, because when you're kids, the world's seen black and white. You don't understand when you get older, you get responsibilities, the passion you're in, maybe you want to be a scientist. You can't have the energy of, no, not the energy. You can't have I'll slap his face with a researcher in the lab, but you can have the energy of, I'll slap his face, like I'm going to go present my work in this way to do better than him and all that kind of thing. That's what that energy is for.
It's your strength within your own field. For some people, it's physical. For some people, it's mental. Learn what that strength is and run it in that field. Like, it's no one shoe fits all. I think and there is a really big pressure for people who are in the spotlight to be a certain type of way, because I can imagine for you, because you're in such an influential position, you're definitely moving in that space, that you want to make sure that you're giving the people who watch you like something that they can be inspired by, but also they can kind of relate to, and someone that they can kind of look up to. But that's hard when you also know you're a human and you do, like, everyone does dumb shit. Everyone has difficult lives. Everyone has trials and tribulations. I think that there's a lot of people who are just trying to be perfect, but no one's perfect.
Yeah, no one's perfect, and you judge, especially when you're on the like spotlight or you're on the pedestal. Like you judge yourself more. You judge yourself more. You judge your dark parts very harshly, almost like you want to go kill yourself because you can't believe that you could have done that, or you can't believe that you could have thought that way, or you could have represented that way. But it's like I've learned.
You have to accept where you come from. You have to accept
who you are. Exactly. You have to accept who you are, where you come from, and understand that it doesn't make the whole of you. You know what I mean? It throws parts of you, but it doesn't, just because it's there doesn't mean it's you. You know what I mean? Yeah. Everyone is human. Everyone makes mistakes. That's why I believe religion is as well. Like from Muhammad to Jesus Christ to like every influential figure, if you was to go into their lives on a human basis, you might see errors and things that will make you feel closer to them on a human level. And it will be so insightful to see that. But that's why we're here right now. That's why we have cameras and we have streaming and we have all these things. Because 100 years from now, brothers aren't going to be like, yeah, people are going to be idolizing me, but there's people that's also not going to be idolizing me because they've seen certain things or they've heard of certain things because they could, or they've seen how I talk, or maybe they don't like how I talk because they can clue in to who I am because of how we've recorded it. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's what's needed. It's like right now, every person who's influential should not be afraid to show how human they are. Because at the end of the day, that's all we are. We're human. We're all trying to make it. We're all trying to do the best. We're all trying to set an example. Like, we're all doing that. And it's hard. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
I just want to say I'm very inspired that you've done this whole podcast with grills in your mouth. Like, that's insane. You sound great. You look so cool. So I guess, do you have any like final takeaways? Also, where can people find you on social media? Or any products you got coming up?
So official Emperor J. That's my Instagram, official Emperor J. Just J, no AY.
It'll be in the description, don't you? It'll be there.
And then, so I got my intro music video dropping in May. After that, I got my tape dropping as well. It's probably going to drop either in May or towards getting to June.
We'll have to do a part 2 just for that, just for the release.
Yeah.
Would you come on? Would you freestyle on there?
Oh, he's on the spot
now. Not now. I'll set it up properly.
We've had someone come on here try to freestyle.
I'll literally DJ. I'll literally just drop beats. I'll drop beat after beat after beat and like non-stop. It won't stop. Yeah. I do this with my cousin. So my cousin, he's an artist as well. He's an upcoming artist. He's 21. Yeah. He's from Birmingham. Yeah. So I just booked a studio session. I said to him, I was like, bro, I'm going to go there. I'm going to play some tunes. I'm going to make some content. If you want to come, grab a mic and start spitting, come. It was the best night. It was like probably the best night ever.
Alright, cool. Yeah, shit. I'll freestyle.
You've said it now. It's on camera.
Yeah, it's on camera. hey. But like I said, man ain't gonna be like the most perfect freestyle. This like
no. We're not doing no disclaimers here. We want to see you roll up, do your thing, man.
Cool. Say that. I got you, man. But yeah, I got my mixtape. My mixtape's called Road to the Throne. Road to the Throne, the mixtape. So that's the first one that's coming out. Yeah, man. There's everything on there. There's real rap. There's pain. There's Afrobeat. There's R&B. There's a lot of stuff. Like if you want to know more about me, as a person, as everything, it's the same flavor as this podcast as well.
So it's juicy.
Yeah, it's juicy. Yeah.
All right, listen, what we're going to do, we're going to wrap it up here. There's one thing I wanted to ask you at the start, actually, yeah? Top 5, what's your top 5 artists all time?
You got Tupac, 50 Cent, XXXTentacion, Fela Kuti, Eminem, you know,
oh, wow, that's going to be a hard one. Oh, Sade's one. Love Sade. I listen to a lot of Wu-Tang. And I like I hate when it comes to artists because I just listen to so much crap.
Top 5. So you're top 5 of all time.
I know. I listen to a lot of Chris Brown or old school Chris Brown. I wouldn't say it like I'm not.
That's what it's
not even my
Eminem
top.
is a lot of old school Eminem.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to replace that with Bob Marley.
Oof.
Hey,
Yeah.
influential. Bill Withers and I have to say Old Weekend though, like Trilogy Weekend.
Yeah.
Just the Trilogy album. I know I've spoken about it twice now, but I can't wrap my head around that body of work. It's just so interesting. When I listen to it, I'm like, no one has since sounded like it. No one before sounded like it. He don't even sound like it now. And that was him. And it was amazing. So yeah, that's
All right, so my 5, obviously top always be Drake.
Okay.
Drake 50.
Okay.
Drake 50. Aaliyah's up there.
Okay.
Nas
oh fuck, how did I forget Nas?
and Lil Wayne.
Yeah,
That's my
that's a
top
good
5,
pick,
bro.
you know.
Bro, but I live in the 2000s with music, bro. I love my
Okay.
2000s music, man. Yeah, like old school R&B, like Ja Rule and Ja was popping off, like Thug Lovin', all of that, Mesmerize, like all of that. Like,
That's
when,
his like Loverboy era.
yeah, literally. But listen, we need to do a part 2 to this, man.
Yeah, of course, man. We're gonna do a part 2 with freestyles.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I might even do one of them now. Nah.
It was a pleasure having you on
Yeah,
here. Thank you for
Definitely,
joining
man.
us.
All right, listen, everyone, make sure you check out Ep010 mixtapes coming out soon. Part 2 will be out soon. This one will be out soon. My link's in the description. Kim's is also in the description. Ep010. Bro, you might as well do like a little. You might as well do the outro, bro.
The outro.
Yeah.
Cool. Ep010 signing off. Everyone have a blessed day. Keep creating. Keep going. You know, wherever these infrastructures are blocking you, don't let them block you. You just keep going. You can go beyond that. Because Post-Nut Clarity was human too. And he's still human. And we're taking him out of here. You know what I mean? Out. Boom.
All right, preach. Safe.